Hey-ho! And what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Tuesday, April the 24th, 2018, and we are here to talk about tonight's Suck Down Lame, as SmackDown Live strikes again with one of the worst shows I have had to see, and it is mainly because it was nothing more than a 2-hour commercial for the worst Royal Rumble ever conceived in the history of the WWE, and we are gonna bring the hammer down on the whole situation right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in the whole entire universe, baby! The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it!
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me is the world's greatest tag team, the Wrestling God of Thunder, Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and my little buddy, my trusty companion, and the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones across the galaxy, Blue the Snowball. Thank you guys so much for checking out the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. Not only available right here on YouTube.com, but also on iTunes, Podbean, and Stitcher Radio. Take us with you everywhere you go on all of those platforms. Every single week, our reviews, our news, everything is up across all platforms. Do not forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, support the show every which way you can if you are amongst the hundreds of people who know without a shadow of a doubt that this is the place where the hammer comes down on professional wrestling, especially on a night like tonight. Holy shit, man, does the WWE love to ruin a good thing. You have no clearer evidence of this than almost everything that has gone on in the WWE over the last 3 weeks. No more clearly shown to you by what the hell they did to Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song. Was it absolutely necessary to find a way to ruin one of the best songs that has surfaced in the WWE in recent memory? Oh, Corey Graves, you want to help out and you want to give everybody the ins and outs, right? Oh, Shinsuke Nakamura has requested his theme song be changed so that the WWE Universe doesn't sing along with his theme anymore. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They couldn't have just maybe slowed it down a notch, do something similar to what they did with Neville? Why did they have to come out with this Japanese rap, this Jap rap? I don't know what the hell to even call it. Is it a genre? Maybe it's what Shinsuke Nakamura actually listens to. What the hell do I know? You know what I know? All I know is that it was fucking terrible. Oh my God, it was like an assault on my ears. What was that? Ugh. Absolutely terrible decision making. Why not just change it altogether? Give him something completely new and original to be a heel persona with. Why take such a beloved thing and absolutely take a dump all over it? This is nothing new. When they have something great, they love to ruin it. They love to ruin and ruin and ruin. They are just big ruiners. Look at Rusev Day. Another clear example. They got something great on their hands with Rusev Day. They love to ruin it. They ruined it all year long. Braun Strowman. All the stars were in alignment for Braun Strowman to be the legit next big thing in pro wrestling, in this business. And they ruined it. They made him lose to Brock Lesnar and then it was over. Braun Strowman has now been the most over person on Monday Night Raw, but is never being put in serious competition because they don't know a good thing when they have it. Finn Balor. They took everything special and unique that made Finn Balor fun to watch, that made Finn Balor must see, And they stripped it away from him. They took all the good away from Finn Balor. This has been going on for years. I'm no big fan of Alberto Del Rio. I don't think anybody is at this point. But all the things that made Del Rio special, everything that made him something to watch, the scarf, the aristocrat attitude, the special ring announcer, the limousine, they strip it all away. Because when they have a good thing, they don't know what to do with it. I don't understand it. Why ruin something that doesn't need to be fixed? It's absolutely mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. You know what else boggles my mind? Is the fact that the WWE wants to put Big Cass in such a high, prominent, big-profile position upon his return when he left, he was just barely even a mid-carder. You know, Vince McMahon, even in Big Cass's promo tonight, which was actually pretty good, maybe one of the best promos I've ever heard him cut, but he said it right in his promo that he cut tonight. He grew to be 7 feet tall, he's educated, and he's good looking. That's every single thing that Vince McMahon wants in his world champions. He's got a 7-foot-tall guy that he wants to push to the moon. And again, there is no clearer example of this than what you've seen tonight on Suck Down Lame with Big Cass. Having him interrupt Miz TV, obviously being the guy to take out Daniel Bryan in the back, as Daniel Bryan was the scheduled guest for Miz TV tonight, to cut this promo with the Miz that was kind of confusing. It was a little uncomfortable to watch because there was a part of me that assumed that Big Cass was going to come out and form some sort of an alignment with The Miz. Maybe The Miz was going to, you know, procure his services to keep Daniel Bryan at bay until The Miz deems it's time for Daniel Bryan to punch his face. But that's not what happened. We had a little bit of this weird back and forth. You had two heels bickering with each other in the ring. Pretty much both of them want the same thing, which is the destruction and the removal of Daniel Bryan from existence. But yet they can't get along. They can't come to some sort of a mutual arrangement. It didn't make any sense to me. I don't like the direction in which we're headed. All we're getting is an announcement. This whole thing was just an announcement for Backlash's match for Daniel Bryan and Big Cass. Are you excited to see this match? The only reason anybody's excited to see this match is to see Daniel Bryan. And the WWE just seems to be very shy or just reluctant to put Daniel Bryan back in the ring. Do you know how many people went to that arena tonight on SmackDown Live to see Daniel Bryan get in the ring because he's come back from his retirement? And yet week after week, even at WrestleMania itself, WWE finds a way to keep Daniel Bryan from actively competing for a long amount of time. Sure, he's had a great match on SmackDown Live last week. You know, we had some good stuff with Daniel Bryan. Sure, they're letting him do it. But if they can find a way to keep him out of that ring, boy, they're going to do it. And obviously, they are using Big Cass as the vehicle to keep Daniel Bryan off TV right now. He gets him backstage. They're building some sort of a story. I understand that. I appreciate the effort that they're trying to come up with something, but the key player in this is supposed to be The Miz, not Big Cass. Nobody wants to see this. Everybody wants to see Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Now, of course, they're not just going to shoot right out of the gate and give it away. We've been waiting for it for over a year. They're going to continue to make us wait for it. But to try to gain momentum for Big Cass in this situation, I don't like it. I do, like I said, I appreciate them trying to make sense of the situation. I liked what Big Cass had to say. I like that his point and his reason for attacking Daniel Bryan is because I was ready to make my comeback. Here I am, 7 months on the shelf. I'm ready to come back, and nobody gives a shit because we got the return of Daniel Bryan, which just happened to be happening at the same exact time as my return. Chalk it up to bad timing for you, Daniel Bryan, but he looks to make an example out of him. He wants to step out of the shadow of WWE's new biggest little man. Right? I appreciate it. It was a good effort. It was a good promo by the kid. But I'm not too excited for this story. It just doesn't do anything for me. I am fully, what the hell is the word? I believe fully that Daniel Bryan will bring Big Cass to a great match. Daniel Bryan can wrestle a broomstick. That was mop and broomstick at the same time. A moomstick. This is my moomstick. Sorry about that. But hey, listen, it is what it is, right? We're getting DB versus BC, Big Cass, at Backlash. Do you really care? Other than the fact that we'll get to see Daniel Bryan actually compete. I don't. But how you feel is up to you, as always. Let me know if you agree. Maybe I'm losing it. You know, maybe there's just been so much negativity in and around this wrestling product that maybe you think I'm not seeing clearly. Feel free to voice your opinion in that comment section below. Don't forget to do that. We had women's stuff tonight. We had actually a decent tag team matchup between the IKonics and Asuka and Becky Lynch. Now, before we got treated to this match, I wouldn't say treated, it wasn't that great, but it was definitely refreshing to see some new bodies in the ring doing some stuff for once and actually wrestling, although it was a tag team match. But, you know, the IKonics are a duo, so I don't mind them being featured in this capacity. Their opponents tonight probably were too good for them, which is why we got such a decent match between these women. But the whole thing that the IKonics did leading up to it, that whole little promo segment where they started to do their Mean Girls thing, I think I'm just so sick of seeing it on Raw, and I'm just so nauseated by the whole shit with Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. I don't want to see more Mean Girl high school bullshit. And I know this is kind of their thing, and this is what they were kind of doing in NXT, but, you know, let's act a little bit more mature. Tonight was a little too childish. For me, it was just a little bit too 5th grade. It didn't even seem like high school. They were acting like a couple of 5th graders. It doesn't appeal to me. It's just absolutely cringe to my soul. I fucking hate it. I hate it. But they did perform much better than half the rest of the girls on the roster tonight. Asuka and Becky Lynch go down to the Iconic duo. Now, would this have happened if Asuka had not already lost her losing streak to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania? Probably. Because Becky Lynch ended up getting the pin, so it doesn't really do much damage to Asuka, you know, in the grand scheme of things, but I still don't like the booking. I mean, they're new. Sure, you want to have them get some wins, but you couldn't have had 2 jobber girls. You know, you call up these girls to wrestle the bigger women. You know, we've seen Tamina wrestle some jobbers. We've seen Asuka wrestle a few jobbers. We've seen Nia Jax destroy a bunch of hometown girls or whatever. Why can't they do that? Why do they have to sacrifice Becky Lynch and Asuka? Becky Lynch looked great tonight, by the way. I don't know if maybe it's the new outfit. I'm just digging it. I didn't like the way that old outfit just looked on her. That's just a little personal sidebar. But, didn't agree with the booking of this match, but I did enjoy the match in and of itself. We had a backstage segment with Renee Young outside Commissioner Shane McMahon's office. AJ Styles comes walking out. He announces to us that he is going to be taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. He's going to try to cut him down a little bit, leading into his greatest Royal Rumble matchup for the WWE Heavyweight Championship. And he says he's not going to be coming alone, because Shinsuke Nakamura will have Rusev Day as his team, and AJ Styles will have a mystery team. Who did you think was going to be his partners? As soon as he walked off screen, everybody in the world knew Gallows and Anderson were going to show up to back up the champ tonight, and we were going to have a reunion of a different kind of club. It's not the Balor Club. This is just the club. The original incarnation in the WWE before they align themselves with Finn Balor once again. I'm okay with this. I just hope they actually do something with it. I would love to see the club, AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson, maybe go opposite Sanity. You took Nikki Cross out of the mix. You might as well take those 3 guys and immediately place them where they can do the most damage, which is across the top tier talent, which is AJ Styles. Eric Young versus AJ Styles would be fantastic. You can have Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf taking on Gallows and Anderson, and mixed match in between. It'll be refreshing to see, like I said, new faces, new bodies, having new matchups. It'll be great if that's the direction in which they want to go. We had a very, very nice promotional package for Sanity and also for Andrade Cien Almas tonight. I am so anticipating their arrival that this is actually a very smart thing. It makes me remember back in the day when they used to do shit like this right, and you had Razor Ramon coming to the WWE, and for weeks and weeks and weeks, you'd see just video promos hyping their arrival. They did it with Goldust. They did it with numerous other superstars over the years. Taz, Chris Jericho. Weeks and weeks before they arrived, we kept being led to this big moment. But if they do this and they keep giving us the promos and then Sanity just shows up for a match, it's not going to be as effective. They need to come in and like destroy a main event. Maybe cost AJ Styles the championship at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Give it to Shinsuke Nakamura, and now we go along with the club versus Sanity. Start it off big. Same thing with Cien Almas. Have him maybe come in and interrupt the ladder match. Or just have him immediately come in and start trouble in the Intercontinental Championship division, which I truly believe is moving to SmackDown Live. We'll talk more about that on the Greatest Royal Rumble preview and prediction show, which will be up tomorrow night or possibly Thursday afternoon, depending on how everything goes. But all that being said, this whole entire show, like I said, was nothing more than a 2-hour commercial for the Greatest Royal Rumble. Every single segment could be traced back to them trying to promote something to the Greatest Royal Rumble. Every time we came back from commercial, they were talking about it. You saw the graphic about 100 single times for it throughout the night, and it was just a little bit too much. It makes no sense to me that you would have a WrestleMania caliber show as the follow-up show to WrestleMania. Ugh. Like I said, we'll talk more about that later on. The Usos are backstage, right? We got the Usos backstage. Naomi's in the back with her little hubby, and they have this little interaction. He asks her to please not come out and interrupt his match tonight with Eric Rowan of the Bludgeon Brothers. Now, this segment automatically tells you that Naomi is going to get involved tonight. So, it was pretty much pointless. And we come back from the break, and we got Eric Rowan versus Jimmy Uso. Eric Rowan is one half of the SmackDown Live World Tag Team Champions, and he got a jobber entrance tonight. So, good job on that one, SmackDown Live. Jimmy Uso has a very fast-paced matchup with Eric Rowan. A lot of nice little spots in this match. They have good chemistry. They have always had decent chemistry. The Usos don't really fail to disappoint. My biggest problem with this match is, just in watching it, I could tell that this match was rushed. They were not given enough time. They wanted to get a lot in a small amount of time, which is why the pace was moved so fast. They tried to say that Jimmy Uso was using it to an advantageous way, that he was trying to keep the big man off his game by moving at such a fast pace. But they had only 4 minutes to wrap everything up, so they wanted to impress, and they did as good as they could. And then, of course, the lights go out, and Naomi comes out and very awkwardly interrupts. She's kind of shaking her ass at the Bludgeon Brothers. Why they would give a shit that they know that Naomi is there and not just continue their decimation of the Usos in the ring and focus on the match and just take out their opponent. I don't know. I mean, I know I would be distracted if she came out shaking that thing, but I'm not a Bludgeon Brother. These guys come out seemingly stone cold, no emotion, don't give a shit about anything, but apparently they give a shit about Naomi's ass. Because it was enough for them to get distracted to the point where it would cost Eric Rowan the matchup tonight, as he would end up getting schoolboy rolled up by Jimmy Uso as they get the win tonight, which only means to me that the Bludgeon Brothers will retain at the Greatest Royal Rumble this Friday. After the match, the Usos are over there celebrating with Naomi. The Bludgeon Brothers looked on all pissed off. Who cares? Right? Renee Young is in the ring when we come back from the break, and we have the contract signing. All of a sudden, the WWE wants to pull the contract signing out. We didn't get to see one for Shinsuke and AJ Styles leading into WrestleMania. We didn't even get to see one between Charlotte and Asuka, but we got to see one for Carmella. And not only did we get to see a contract signing, but we were forced to watch over 10 minutes of absolute cringeworthy television brought to you by Carmella herself. The fact that they made her play that promo package that we had to stomach through last weekend, not once, but twice tonight. Almost fully twice tonight. Just her whole delivery, everything about Carmella, ever since she's won the Money in the Bank, and her whole association with James Ellsworth all the way up until now. It just seems so generic and so forced, and everything that she has to say is so scripted. She forgot her lines at the beginning of the whole thing. Then thankfully the whole thing finally she remembered, and it clicked and flowed and went the rest of the way. But you could visibly see her trying to remember what exactly it was she had to say. She's not that great. She's not very high on my list. The best thing about this segment was when Charlotte Flair stopped the second playthrough of the Carmella-bration promo bullshit and came out, interrupted the whole thing, sat down, signed the contract, said one word, "Woo!" and then beat the shit out of Carmella, smashed her face into the table, flipped the table up over right on top of her scrawny little body, and it was great. That was great. It was the best thing I've ever seen Charlotte do as far as, promos and something other than wrestling in the ring. I was alright with that. It made me smile. But what didn't make me smile was how long it took us to get to this moment. Carmella went on a tirade about how she shouldn't have been announced first. Why are you yelling at Renee Young for that? She didn't plan the segment. Fucking stupid sometimes. I almost fell asleep during Randy Orton versus Shelton Benjamin. I suddenly felt like I was swapped back in time, maybe about 12 years. We got to see this again. And this again, once again, was a advertisement for the greatest Royal Rumble, as we would have Sunil Singh show up in a lucha mask to attack Jeff Hardy, to try to give Jinder Mahal the leg up going into his United States Championship matchup this Friday. It feels weird to say that, but that's what's happening. It's this Friday. And like I said a little bit last night, and we will talk about more later this week, Jinder Mahal is going to win the United States Championship from Jeff Hardy on Friday. Bring that to Monday Night Raw. SmackDown will find its way to the Intercontinental title either through The Miz or Samoa Joe, and we will have a title swap that way. That is what's going to happen. But Randy Orton versus Shelton Benjamin, did you give a shit? I didn't. Shelton Benjamin got the win tonight. Good for him. Good for him. Chad Gable got a win last night. Shelton Benjamin got a win tonight. They're finally winning. They couldn't get a win together, but they can get wins as singles competitors. Albeit tonight, thanks to the outside interference of the singlet, Sunil Singh, who really gives a shit. This match was useless, and I doubt we will see anything really more go through this. The biggest story really coming out of that match is that Randy Orton did to Jeff Hardy what Jeff Hardy did to him last week and interrupted his entrance into the arena. Who cares? Who cares? Do you really give a shit about Randy Orton? Unless this leads to his heel turn, you can't have babyface Randy Orton versus babyface Jeff Hardy. That's just not going to translate. It barely translates as it is. Something has got to change before you pull the trigger on that feud. And if you're waiting for Jeff Hardy to lose the belt, then please don't wait too much longer. Because good guy Randy Orton, as we say many times on this show, is by far the worst Randy Orton there ever was. Absolutely boring. Sleep-inducing. Almost put me to sleep. My favorite interview of the night goes, as usual, to Samoa Joe. He had about 30 seconds on screen in which he proved to be the most perfect wrestling heel in this industry, running down everybody he could in a matter of 30 seconds. His delivery is akin to the absolute perfect supervillain in any superhero movie you could name. You know, whether it's Christopher Nolan's Batman, or maybe you're a big fan of the Marvel stuff on Netflix, or the Avengers, he was very Thanos-like in his delivery. We got Infinity War coming out on Friday too. I'd much rather go see that than have to come and sit on my couch and watch the Great Roman Party. I'm going to try to do both in the same day, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, Samoa Joe, man, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Very poignant, very evil in his delivery. The way he enunciates and the flow in his words. He's just terrifying. He's absolutely terrifying. He should be the #1 bad guy in the WWE right now. He is, in my opinion. He performs at that level consistently. He didn't even get in the ring tonight, and he was my favorite part of the whole entire show. What I didn't really give a shit about was the Bar. The Bar makes their first appearance on SmackDown Live after the Superstar Shakeup in a ridiculous promo with the New Day, who just want to sell their book. They got a stack of pancakes about this friggin' high. They got cereal in champagne glasses. They're doing the same New Day shtick that we've been seeing for 2 fucking years. And I'm over it. I want the New Day to get serious. I thought having teams like the Usos around would bring that out of them. You know, the Bludgeon Brothers are going around swinging sledgehammers just like we do. And you want to walk around flipping fucking pancakes. I'm done with the pancakes. I'm done with the pancakes. It's not entertaining to me anymore. It's just the same old shit. At least pick a new food. Let's do something new. The pancakes and the cereal have run their course. I'm done. That was a useless... That was absolute waste of the Bar, and still, the New Day needed to be broken up in this shakeup. It didn't happen, and now we're just going to continue to get more sucked down lame over and over and over. And finally, your main event tonight, the 6-man tag team match. AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Karl Anderson, the Club reunited, versus Rusev Day and Shinsuke Nakamura, with the worst theme song in history. I think this might be the first time somebody's gone from having the best to worst theme song ever in a case of 1 week, or in a case of any span of time. My God, it was just so jarring, and it almost made me forget about the whole entire match, because it's the last thing we heard at the end of the night too. We had a pretty decent 6-man tag. If you want to cut the commercials out, too many commercials if you ask me, in such a high profile main event with so many big names that everybody's looking to see, it was alright. I mean, I can't say too much more. It was just the same shit, you guys. It was the same shit. AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Karl Anderson lose to Rusev Day and Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura, the most interesting thing kind of happened at the end of this match as he continued to attack AJ Styles' friends by repeatedly delivering Kinshasas to everybody. And I thought that was interesting. But other than that, there was nothing really to take away from this. They're just building towards their rematch this Friday. Everything has been building towards the worst Royal Rumble in history, the Great Roman Party, and we will be here, as always, even though we don't want to be. We don't want to be doing this. Just like I'm sure everybody on the roster don't want to be doing this show. You guys don't want to watch this show, even though it's shaping up to possibly be the best show of the year. We're going to have our preview and predictions coming at you guys either tomorrow or Thursday, and we will be here Friday night to review that piece of trash, because I guarantee you it most likely will be. We had our Raw review last night. Don't forget to check that out. Our Bruno Sammartino tribute is live on the channel. Check that one out. It's absolutely fantastic. It was a lot of hard work. I'd really appreciate it if you checked it out. Our Wrestle Crate and our That Wrestling Club box is en route. So keep your eyes open for a subscription box showdown. The April edition of our super unboxing special show is coming to you guys within the next week or two as soon as those damn boxes get here. Don't forget to join us this Friday for all of our coverage of Vince McMahon's WrestleMania 34 Part 2, the greatest Royal Rumble. That's going to do it tonight. SmackDown lame was exactly that. It was lame. There was only 4 matches. There was a lot of bullshit. A lot of times I was struggling to stay awake. And once the greatest Royal Rumble is over, maybe we will have some sense of normalcy, as they at least have started to build somewhat towards what's happening at Backlash in 2 weeks. Don't forget, you guys, to like, share, and subscribe. Share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies, anybody that you know that wants to become part of a great community of wrestling fans that are knowledgeable and respectful and a whole lot of fun. This is the place to be. Make sure that you light up that comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's SmackDown Live. What do you think we're going to see coming up at the greatest Royal Rumble? I want to know what my fans think, so make sure you get at me in that comment section below. Follow us on Twitter at Nick Nightmare. Check us out. The fan page is live at Facebook.com, The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, all one word. Check it out. Make sure you follow us there. 2 of the best places to get all of your news and to keep tabs on everything that is going down right here at Sledgehammer TV. Don't forget also, if you are listening on iTunes, Podbean, or Stitcher Radio, get your eyes on the YouTube channel and subscribe over there. And if you're watching me here on YouTube, don't forget to download us and take us on the go. Maybe you don't have time to sit and watch the whole review while you're at home in the comfort of your own chair or at your desk or doing whatever it is you do. Maybe you're taking a dump right now while you're watching me on your phone. I don't know what you're doing. That's fine. I appreciate you watching me no matter what's going on in your innards and coming out you and in and, you know, whatever. But, you know, just have me in your earbuds. You don't have to watch me. You know what I mean? You don't have to see my face. You can just listen to my voice, and you can do that by following, leaving a like, or a 5-star rating for the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show on iTunes, Podbean, and Stitcher Radio. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this SmackDown Live review. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Thor, the Wrestling God of Thunder, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My little buddy, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, blew the snowball. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. You know where to find us. Thank you so much. That is going to do it, and we are out of here. And we will see you next time this Friday for the worst Roman party right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Have a good one. See you Friday.